to know that ability. It's going to give you a burst of healing. You can still hit your enemies, your allies rather, or yourself. Going to give you that big burst of healing and kind of get you on your way. So, and if you want to play a defensive mage or a support mage, double up on the healing. Just double up and say, hey, healing station and the philosophy healing. That's going to be one of your playstyle.
Play that support.
Play offense. It's going to be there for you as well.
Feels like a support.
But I'm looking forward to mages. I think they're going to be they're gaining for that top spot. However, and we'll get into this a little bit later on. Mages are still on the block for some new fun things, so we'll talk a little bit like that. Talk a little bit about that later on, but that kind of wraps up the mage, and that brings us to the one true class, the all hail the assassin.
There it is.
Assassin's back, baby.
Aw, the assassin, one of my least favorite classes.
Assassin's back. Ooh, assassin. So
he likes the assassin.
I do, but internally, and you will vouch for me.
I love it.
I haven't made the assassin broken. I know everybody expected me to make the assassin broken because it was my class, but I haven't. That's kind of like I'm not. Yeah, trust me. Just trust me. It'll work out. So first and foremost, going into the weapons here, very much of the case in live, there is again dead weapons. Both the heirloom is le garbage on live. That's French for garbage, everybody. And so we had to go back to the heirloom, say, hey. Let's get this thing right. We increased the reload speed on it. We made the damage. Really, we took slug as okay, this is a slug rifle. This is the heirloom, right? Where are these two weapons shining most here? Let's kind of get them to where if you're using an heirloom from short to mid range, you're hitting your shots. Heirloom's gonna be the one you're gonna want to take. Slug from mid to mid long. Okay, that can be kind of a comparison there. So I think you guys are gonna like it. It's back, baby. Heirloom's back. It has that pretty tight reload speed and the best. I honestly think the best reload animation of the game has that nice whoosh. So that's back. And of course, the Assassin's sniper rifle. We fixed the reload bug on it, so the reload bug's fixed. We're still going to be working with some of the sniper rifle in general, but it's going to be a little bit of a faster bullet speed. It's going to have that nice reload that actually scales with rarity, so that is a kind of like a nice little quirk with the Assassin in general. It does have that sniper rifle that is so iconic and so hard-hitting from long distances. You're still going to be, quite honestly, the best class at long distance with that sniper rifle. And because we went back to class blocking, the sniper rifle is iconic to the assassin, and so he's going to be able to use that role much better than any other class.
This is indeed unprofessional.
Before we get to this, later on, we'll talk about another long-distance weapon coming down the pipeline.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Yes, stick around to find out.
I'll stick around next time on Realm Royale, baby. But going back to the assassin here,
That's
Sean's throwing out the decoy. Decoy is the next
one of the funnest, if that's a word.
Yes. No, on today's show, it is use whatever your words. Yes, decoy is in. It's going to give you a burst of speed. It's going to give you visibility for a little while. It's going to confuse your enemies. This is good. This is one of those things where good players are going to make use to it. It doesn't have that high skill cap ceiling.
Good players.
Very fun. Very awesome. Very iconic. Very iconic. And so.
It also shoots your player, the enemy too, right? It will shoot and act just like the player, but it just stands in the spot.
It does.
That's the only thing it doesn't do is run around.
Yeah, it does not run around. So go around a corner, throw it down in the air, throw it down, use it to kind of get away. Actually, can soak up a shot for you. It's not a lot of health. It does have about 600 health. And don't worry, I know what some people might be thinking. Great, Thor, you added another turret in the game. Don't worry, it only does 50 damage a shot, so it's not going to be clapping cheeks out there. It's going to be a decoy
clapping
for sure.
cheeks, but softly.
On the note to Assassin, kind of wrap it up a little bit here. His concussion bomb does move him by default. And players will have to experience that in game. That was a talent in the old talent system. We'll get into that as well. Concussion grenade will move you as a default thing now. So some of those moves that you guys were used to from old school Realm Royale, that is back here. That's going to be good to go. You'll remember that. And so definitely this blink has always been a very utility. So concussion grenade push to a blink. You're going to be very mobile, very agile, and very much what an assassin is. Rounding that out, we have smokescreen still in. We have decoy that has the same exact changes as what Flare does. Again, not decoy, how a sensor drone was leading to, again, issues with the visibility meta. So we can kind of say, hey, if you have a sensor drone on you, you're going to get a purple dot.
I did run sensor drone hunting.
And of course, we didn't really bring that polarity up, though, because Flare was so much better in every single situation. Sensor drone will unveil the whole entire team, much like Flare does. So depending on what the meta is, you can bring the assassin or the hunter for whatever the situation calls for.
Excuse me. Very unprofessional.
We've got some cool things in the pipeline coming for the assassin. I'm excited for it. Guys, let me see what you guys bring to
I'm lagging
forefront with the
everything.
assassin playstyles. I'm excited.
That's the best part. Is like let's see what you do with it.
Exactly.
And, that's why we're ready to share. It's not 100% done. Because like I said, we're not done, but we're ready to share.
Of course you're not done.
That's the best part.
And I've been very light-handed when it comes to the assassin. Everybody, I was like, okay, patch 1, I'm not gonna go ham. Patch 2 though, it's ham.
Watch out! And it's going full on ham. Not full on chicken. Not full on chicken. Come on, it's right. It's just hanging out in front of you.
In-air sniping potentially coming back. I'm pushing real hard. I need people to make Reddit posts, be like, we want it back. And then
sniping
at everybody else. But
yeah, I'm not a sniper. Even though I play Strix and Paladins, and I like Strix, I'm just not good at sniping. My aim is not the best.
Warriors. my other problem child. So Warrior was a case of both thematic issues and design issues, and I think I could hear the Warrior players quaking in their seats and being like, "You get what? With my what?" So,
change my
long
Warrior.
live the king. Hail to the king, baby. The Warrior had to number one.
My favorite
Warrior
classes are
was another
Mage and
case
Hunter,
of
but I
abilities
mostly play
afforded to the
Mage.
Warrior that didn't make afforded to the Warrior where it didn't make sense. Healing Shout being an example. Bolstering Shout, Healing Shout was actually a paladin ability that was never quite finished, but they're like, hey, we need something to the Warrior. Get on in there. Get on in there.
You gotta make it work back.
Oh, hey, you need an ability? Here you go.
However,
Just take
it
it
really
from
makes sense.
Paladin.
Bolstering Shout, Commanding Shout, like that.
It's
Okay, I
fine.
can understand that.
I actually like Healing Shout, though. It's pretty neat.
Coupled with the talent system that was very toxic, where you pretty much just locked in Healing Shout and had a get out of jail free card.
Right.
So we had to take steps in order to make sure the class felt good thematic-wise, saying, okay, if we're going to add abilities, let's make sure we nail this from a thematic perspective. But also understanding what the balance is for the Warrior, because as we'll get into, the Warrior has a big balance issue when it comes to the axe. I know it, you know it.
Yes.
People on Reddit and
Yes,
Discord are afraid
we
to say,
know it.
The axe is
We
way too
know
strong.
this.
The amount of axes
It's
in this game is way too high.
I literally, it's one of the most broken items. I said it.
The other class weapons were really just, number one, they paled and they really didn't have the programming and love afforded to those weapons. So going further into Realm Royale's Reforged patch was that, all right, let's get the axe into a good position, right? It's not going to be the axe that you know and love doing 1,150 damage. Like, it's not going to be that. It's still going to be one of our hardest hitting weapons, but it's going to have a little less range. It's going to be coming off the hand a little faster, right? But it's not going to. So on live right now, Matt, you actually reach all the way back. You reach all the way back, you grab the axe and you throw it, leading to a very slow axe. Hard-hitting axe, but slow axe. So the idea here was to say, let's bring some of the damage down, let's get that axe
you're new in the club and you can't move, you're basically
doing
dying.
Right around 830
And then you're the one
still
raging,
within the breakpoints that
even
you guys
though
know.
it's just you who can't
But
dodge.
when combined with Enrage, it's going to take that damage and kind of bring it over there.
Or
So
you're a console
I am
player
still
who
worried about
can't
the axe. I
handle the
feel like
controls
it's
good.
very strong, especially early game. Ooh, he's hitting that
Guilty as
Enrage. He's hitting that Enrage.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I know, we'll get excited.
What do we stick with for his second weapon?
Great
If
question.
you're ready to talk about that.
The sword of I call it the sword of Oman because Oman, this has been an absolute nightmare to try to balance. So we vaulted the hammer. We have some pretty good ideas for the hammer down the line. Maybe other classes, maybe other variations. To be determined.
They're adding more
But
classes.
the hammer and the axe always overshone the hammer.
Oh, so they might keep
Try to,
adding
fit the
weapons
hammer into
then.
the meta or try to make it worthwhile.
So they might bring back
Just honestly,
hammer
quite
or like
frankly, ran out of time,
shredder
and we
or
didn't have the
ice. I mean,
resources there.
stone.
So it's
Probably
also
not stone theft. I don't know about stone theft.
You always pick the axe, so
Exactly.
why stick around?
So that left us with a sword.
And what else is there?
Sword is it makes me sad.
Oh, yeah,
I think
I don't
down the line we can go back to the sword and say, hey, how do we make this a fun, interesting gameplay element here? Melee in general has always been a crux to us, and saying, okay, what can we do?
Well, the sword is melee and it has no range unless so you literally make a melee
Going back to the
champion,
warrior here, he
which
does
I
have
thought
the new shiny
warrior
robe.
was.
You're going to be able to get
Because when I play
farther,
warrior, I feel
harder,
like
better,
I have
faster,
to
stronger.
get
It's
up
always the
close. I don't
underlying
know why.
theme when it came to our abilities.
Because
So you
warrior
will
is
notice
just
how
same.
heroically it does get a
I
little
don't
bit
know
better
why.
here.
Everyone has the same health and
If
same
you
armor.
want to put charge in your inventory, do it. Go put charge in your inventory. If you want to put rage in your inventory, you want to be more of a tanky warrior, go and rage shielding shout. We did a lot of improvements with shielding shout as well to make it easier to put an application on. It lasts a little bit longer. There was a bug on live right now causing white shielding shout to be just stronger than every other. So we said, hey, let's increase the rarity.
There's a bug in live.
The shielding per rarity as well, so it feels good.
I know it's not a bug.
For a second,
For
we wrapped
Switch, just
brutality into the
crashes.
ability itself.
Exactly.
And
I'm so
that
tired of
was important.
crashes.
Saying, okay, brutality is a thing for the warrior here. Let's make it scale versus rarity. Let's take these cooldowns down. We'll talk about cooldowns in general when it comes to the mastery and loadout and talent situation. But swinging back to the warrior there for a second, sword, you will be able to make use of a sword. It's not going to be, I think, as viable as that axe is. I think axe is going to be the utilitarian weapon when it comes to the warrior. However, give us some time, guys. We will get it right. And we are already theory crafting and already got kind of in conception here what is coming down the pipeline for the warrior. Very excited. Yes. But that is not a this patch thing. That's a soon patch thing. But Transitioning over to the abilities, however, that leaves us with one more, and that is the net shot. Net shot has seen better days online. Nobody usually runs it, so one of the cool quirks about net shot right now is going to slow down the enemy. However, if you catch a mage or a hunter in the middle of the use of the ability, let's say a mage is soaring at you and you see them flying at you, hit them with a net shot. That net shot's going to actually drag them downwards. It's going to interrupt their ability, catch them flat-footed, and you'll be able to make a play off of that.
Oh my god.
Which is what we always like to do.
Yeah, awesome. That leads us into really. Yeah. He's showing off that enrage. There we go. Sean hitting someone enraged there. Oh, look at that little fire effects. Great job with the particle effects, everybody, and just making that happen. So,
good job, guys.
See a warrior burning with the
again,
intensity of 1,000.
Keeping the communication.
And the light potion is really good. Light foot potion is really good, especially on the hunter.
Tweak your play as you go.
Definitely gonna run that in the
That's such a
movement,
huge thing. Really
also, you gotta make your builds like last
there's
second since there's no mastery classes anymore.
Right? We have different universal stuff to talk about, which is exciting for sure.
Yes, so honestly, Sean, you're on it, buddy. We're introducing two new things when it comes to the universal pool. So the universal pool is, of course, things that anybody can pick up. They're not going to be tied thematically to any one class. They're going to be things that you know and love, that you've seen, that anybody can pick up. One is going to be the Lightfoot Potion. As you can see, the foot. Hit me with a jump, Sean. Hit me with a hot jump. Hot dang!
What's happening?
He's got them
are those wings on your feet?
That is wings. That is wings on your feet. And so
it's like feather
I pushed very hard to have a very sweet
I didn't say that.
On the as you had it.
I didn't say that.
Obviously, copyright. Don't get us copyright. But yes, we wanted to put some wings on there. We wanted to throw some. It's called the Lightfoot Potion. It's going to make you jump higher, run faster. Very good for mobility. Very, very, very good mobility. It's going to get you to those places where you need to go. And of course, if that's your intention of getting to playing more of a mobile class,
combo that with grappling hook, you got yourself a broken duo. And Dodger, you got yourself movement out the
rolling up with a
wazoo.
Lightfoot Potion.
Out the wazoo.
Internally and externally, we're like, this is so fun. It might be a little broken, but we gotta keep it.
We gotta see what happens. See what happens.
Exactly. But it's very fun, very awesome, and I think we nailed it when it came to the fun. Right. And so that was also, Realm Royale Reforged. When we introduce a new ability, is it fun? Right?
I'm not even talking about
Realm. I'm talking about is it balanced? And so it's gone through a couple iterations here. I think we kind of landed on a really good version, but that leads us correctly into the auto sniper rifle.
Actually, one thing I wanted to jump back for classes real quick is that we did add another thing. Class chests.
Ooh.
I think that maybe for classes you can talk about that real quick, right?
Yes.
Like what the heck is a class chest?
What is a class
It's a chest for your
so,
class.
With adopting old school Realm Royale principles, it came with a lot of hurdles. And one
I
of
ain't
those
talking
was
about the
saying,
rapper.
okay, if the classes are locked to what they can use plus universal abilities, we needed to target something economically for you as a player to be able to say, okay, I'm going to open this chest and get these things out of this chest that is specifically for me. This is targeted early game. This fixes a lot of shenanigans. Thank you, Sean. He's making his way over to a class chest. First and foremost, I noticed, and a lot of other players noticed, that economically speaking, it was very weird meta, where they would do what's called the train, and they would follow behind each other,
how they
and it was trios in particular,
affect your armor
especially competitive.
potions.
They would go and try to loot, but then all three would be in a line, and what ended up happening is they would pour shards on the one player, and the other players would not have really loot at all. They would have white slug, green slug, and then they would get into a fight, and eventually get the kind of loot they needed. But
white slug.
We definitely saw a need for
Lord slug.
some economy stimulus for the actual abilities and weapons themselves. So this is going to be very important for the first minute to 2 minutes of a gameplay. Find those class chests. Those are going to have your green versions of your weapons in there. They are very much balanced for early game, so it'll be very clear.
Status effects still in the game? I still don't know.
Purples, the legendaries, of course, and those green weapons and class chests are going to be, again, what you use in order to get to that forge. On top of the other benefits that I mentioned, this is also going to be a way for new players to find out what is their class abilities, what is their class weapons, which is so important.
Yeah, find out along the way in game. We love that kind of stuff, right?
Exactly. And so, for all intents and purposes, early game new players, they don't know that the fire staff or ice staff is. They don't know that because they haven't gone to a forge, they don't know the forge mechanics, and so really what those green class weapons are doing is easing those new players into that scenario. So Sean is showing off the universal weapon called the auto sniper rifle. That is a long distance weapon, slower projectile speed, 3 rounds.
Damn it! No, go back to the slug rifle.
And some of the
Doesn't have the no, and it's about
finalized. However, that's going to be because we locked the sniper rifle to the assassin themselves. This is going to be a way for you, the player, to get into the mix of long-range combat without taking away that class identity from the assassin, right? The assassin still is going to shine in that role. Let's be very clear here. However, you will be able to punch upwards with that universal sniper rifle, auto sniper rifle.
Too bad they didn't have a sniper rifle and stick of truth.
Our first two forays into
just imagine sniping someone in South Park.
Universal class ability and universal class weapon with many more to come.
Yeah, one thing you can tell in the UI now too, something else that's back is the red X symbol above something that is just you can't use.
Yeah.
Right? Your team could probably use it, but you just are not able to. It's another way we're trying to communicate to you guys, hey, this isn't for you.
Hey,
chart it if you want
stop
to.
it.
Hey teammate, I got a
That's not yours.
here. You want it? Nope, charting it.
No.
Kind of go in that approach. So
yes.
No comprendo.
Whew, there's been a lot of
that's a little bit of change so far.
Yeah, just a little
wow,
bit.
hold up, there's still more?
That is not true. We are.
What else can they
farther than that.
Yeah.
Don't sign me up for a launch. I'm kidding. We had a game to run. We got things to do.
Yeah, right. Come on, I want to go play.
So that leads us into the next big pillar.
Yeah, go play.
Loadouts, mastery, talents, all that kind of shenanigans. And so it was another huge, huge change. So
mastery.
One thing, all the changes we wanted to do, we were sort of fracturing that pillar that was in older realms. So we had to make sure that we split them apart properly to make sure that it wasn't like too weak. So why don't you go ahead and tell them what you did, man?
In the works, and this system that rewards skill progression.
What did you do, man? Because we had this idea, and then we pitch out the vision, and Forrest is like, we'll do this. We got this.
I assume it's due to the level.
Let's talk about what players love. Players love being able to say, "Hey, I love this playstyle. I want to guarantee that playstyle." Right? So loadouts are not changing. The only thing about loadouts that are changing is the fact that you can go into your loadout and say, I want a sniper rifle if you're playing the assassin, I want my decoy, and I want my concussion bomb. When I go to my forging game, that will still be the stale? It'll still be the
same. Stale be there.
Stale be there.
He does this all the time. I don't know who you are. I just met you today.
That'll still be a thing. So loadouts, not changing. And in fact, you'll see that reflected in your class. So to a forge. What is changing is both talents, masteries. Let's start off with the great, and then go into the good, and then amazing. So cooldowns across the board are getting lower, and this is something that just frustrates me on live. Right now, you pick up a ability and it has a 45-second cooldown. That really grinds my gears. I hate it. You hate it. We all hate it. We all hate for ice cream. So going forward, if you look at the talents, oftentimes those talents are afforded to you. It's like 50% cooldown reduction, 35% cooldown reduction, right? And the bad thing is it's more of a carrot and a stick. Like you can have this really shiny thing over here that empirically makes the ability stronger, but if you choose that, you can't do it because it's 50% longer on the cooldown. So I went talent by talent by talent by talent by talent, and wrapped a lot of those cooldowns and little shiny nuggets back into the actual abilities themselves. And so this was
that is a huge endeavor. So like, when we say that the abilities may have changed or had gotten better, whatever, he took what was great about the talent system, everything we had there, and jammed it back into the game day one. Right? That's a huge fact. I think is like you didn't have to wait to get this great fun play experience, right? Where like day one, you have it there. It's just the ability is just that way now.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. That's just something I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I think it makes day one gameplay better, and that was another thing that the talent system kind of
day one
was a very negative, not only to new players but veteran players had that intrinsic knowledge of what was afforded to you through the talent system that made them better players. Inspire, as an example, and so that sucked as a new player. You'd come in and you get clapped, and you're like, why? And it's like not only do the players know the game inside and out for the last 2 years on the same exact patch, but they also have the those talents and loadouts afforded to them that you could just
props to people waiting for that.
So going forward, talents are no longer a thing. We may wrap that back in a fun.
I wish I do that
way,
for a
but
certain
talents
game.
are no longer gone. They are wrapped back into the abilities themselves, lower abilities, and also when Jim Bob comes to play the game, they're like, well, I can't play the longbow because I got to put 80 hours into it. You tell him, hey Jim, go ahead and load up that longbow in your loadout. You're good. So that's great for your
Jimbo.
players.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about the loadout a little more and how it's going to connect with the Forge? Maybe not yet.
We touched on that a little bit. So
yeah.
What you choose in the loadout will be in your class Forge. So you go into the game, you say, hey, I want my combat ability 1. Remember, because your movement abilities won't change, it can only be upgraded, you will no longer see your movement ability in the Forge in the class section. Now you can upgrade it by going over to the Forge, and upgrading it is actually the shortest amount of time. So we did kind of do across the board changes.
That's what I call.
But hit that
Very
upgrade
helpful.
on your movement ability,